next, boy, I bust up. They found a plan to make it rich. Middle finger up, for a hater in this bitch, boy, on my side. Let's get it poppin' like some high fries. I told him fuck the runner, cause I'm trying to catch the top guy. Give it up. This is Coochie Van, no Dooney truck. Say you got the soldier here, and we shoot it up. Niggas always capping nowadays, ain't nothing new. Pillow talking for the hoes, get capped for acting cool. Pistol packing double D's and all these hoes, we in the stew. You move on, bitches popping out just like a zoo.
Yo, what's up, homies? I know it's been a minute. You probably like, Dave, where the murder mysteries at? Dave, where them Jones at? I'm back to bring them. I'm back. I'm bringing them back for you. Facts. I'm sorry that it took so long and I haven't really been doing them, but we back with Crime Atlas. We back with the murder mysteries. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the post notifications because we're bringing back murder mysteries. We're going to bring a lot of stuff and integrate it with the channel. I want to start reacting to scary stuff. Um, I want to do a whole bunch of stuff with this channel. A lot more reactions. I want to bring skits back. So we're going to start bringing that content for you. So let's get into it. We're going to get right into this, Jonskis. All right, this one is Twisted Ties, the Agee family. Age family? Is it Age or Agee or Agee? Yo, my cats are wilding out right now. Like every time it's like they know I'm about to record, so they want to wild out every time. It's like, bro, I'm trying to watch a good murder mystery, and I know I'm yapping, but relax.
Let's get something real clear. This defendant had an STD, and this defendant assumed that he got it from Brooklyn Sims. But ladies and gentlemen, this is not about an STD. Does that make it okay? Absolutely not. This is not about an STD. This is about his pride.
First of all, this is a wild way to start it off. Like, you didn't even let me break into it yet. Like, you just started talking about STD. At least give me some context. Like,
STD is curable.
Okay, what he got?
Brooklyn Sims murder is not.
Oh shit! Hold up, y'all. Yeah, stop it. Alright, we getting back to it. I missed this intro. Damn. Yeah. Back with the murder mystery. You already know how we get. Y'all need to chill out before y'all get hit. Get a little spanking. Stop fighting. That's your brother. Hold up, y'all. That's your brother. Stop it. Stop it.
On the sultry afternoon of...
Hold up. I'm trying to lock in, but they keep fighting. Stop fighting. Where he at? Stop fighting. Y'all both.
Friday, August 11th, 2023. The languid air in Pensacola, Florida was abruptly shattered by a cacophony of terror.
That's a big ass
A
word.
lone man embodying the...
What that shit mean? I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, listen, y'all come here for the reactions, and I need to know what words mean. Like, cacophony. Like, why would you just use that big ass word and not even explain what it means? Cacophony. A harsh mixture of sounds. Okay.
Essence of unforeseen malevolence, brazenly strode into a bustling Home Depot, his intentions as obscure as they were sinister. In a moment that seemed to defy time, he unleashed a barrage of gunfire, transforming the mundane into the horrific in mere seconds. Amidst the aisles lined with tools and home essentials, one person was tragically slain, left lifeless in the wake of this inexplicable violence. The cruelty of the act was further compounded as two of the deceased women's colleagues were injured as a result of the assailant's fury. Yet, as the investigation unfolded in the aftermath, the depths of the tragedy deepened. They revealed a narrative steeped in depravity, a blatant contempt for the sanctity of human life that chilled even the most seasoned detectives to the bone.
What the fuck happened?
As we venture into this multifaceted and deeply disturbing case, we tread a path lined with questions of morality, sanity, and the very nature of evil itself. This is not merely a story of a crime, but a reflection of the darkest corners of the human psyche. Let's dive in. On Friday, August 11th, 2023, a worker at a Home Depot in Pensacola witnessed a disturbing incident.
Well, I came back from a lunch break. I went behind the counter to go pick up my trusty iPad I use for surveying. And I was talking to a coworker and I heard pop, 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 like 5 or 6 rounds go off. And I realized it was a gun and I told him, I said, duck and cover. And I went right up underneath the counter, back behind the main counter, and I was sat there Indian style and I called 911. Then I heard someone was hurt and I said, also please send paramedics. And I stayed with her on the line until the police arrived and told us to evacuate.
That's very traumatizing to witness. I hope I never have to like witness some shit like that. Like, bro, that's sad.
When Escambia County Sheriff's Office deputies arrived, they discovered a deceased woman lying face down in aisle 52. She was
Damn.
identified as 18-year-old Brooklyn Sims, a single
Aw,
mother with a
bro.
2-year-old daughter who was working her usual shift. 2 of Sims's colleagues were also shot. One was grazed in the hand and the other grazed in the back. Deputies were told by witnesses that the suspect left the building.
Bro, that's crazy getting shot on your fucking like where you work at, bro. That's insane to me. Like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah, she was 18 with a child, bro. Like, she's so young, and now her daughter or child has to go without a mother, bro. That's so.
Running. We do believe the victim was targeted, said Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons, and the other 2 were essentially in the wrong place at the wrong time. Surveillance footage captured a male entering the store and turning down aisle 52. Seconds later, people are seen running from aisle 52 while the shooting suspect runs back toward the entrance. He flees
Dumbass.
into the parking lot, enters a silver 4-door sedan, and exits the parking lot at a high rate of
They got your whole shit on 4K, dumbass.
speed toward Duval Street. Soon after the shooting, a man called the Pensacola Police Department from a nearby Mellow Mushroom restaurant on Bayou Boulevard.
Yes, my son. You're where? I'm trying to come up the fence. Okay, where are you at? Pensacola, Alabama. What are you trying to turn yourself in for? What are you trying to turn yourself in for? No, you're fine. Just pop down. I'll get someone to help you. Are you injured at all?
The caller went on to provide his location, and officers arrived quickly.
He didn't make a mistake and shot someone. That nigga fired like 6 shots. What the fuck?
Go down to your knees, keep your arms out, put your arms on your head. Ready, run. Thank you. I'll your hands on, do not resist them, okay?
For 1015 at AMC, do not require any additional units here.
The caller was identified as 20-year-old Keith Agee from Calvert, Alabama. He was taken into custody without incident. According to the arrest report, Agee was transported to the Escambia County Sheriff's Office and subjected to interrogation. According to police records, after waiving his Miranda rights, he told detectives that he and the victim, Brooklyn Sims, had been in an off and on relationship for the past 4 years and had one child in common. He said despite Sims having been granted a protective order against him, she would still have contact with him so that he would be able to see their child. Agee claimed that they had spent the weekend together at his residence 2 weeks prior. They were intimate, and the rest of the weekend was without conflict. He then began to describe a possible motive for his actions. Agee said he started his day by going to work at a steel company in Mount Vernon, Alabama. While at work, he received a call from a local medical office. He was given the news that he tested positive for the sexually transmitted disease gonorrhea.
Called that shit. I called that shit. I'm not hyped that I called it, but like, I called that.
Upon hearing the results, he became angry, left work, and drove to his home nearby to collect his 9mm handgun. He then got back in his car and started driving from his house to the Home Depot in Pensacola to confront Sims at her workplace.
Listen, man, just because she burnt you don't mean you had to burn her, bro. Like, you did not have to shoot her, bro. It's cool, bro. We all take L's. You feel me? Like, we all take L's. You should have just took your pill and dipped off.
He added that he pulled over when he reached Loxley, Alabama. He said he thought about whether to keep driving at that time. Ultimately, he chose to allow his pride to get in the way of his judgment and continued driving to Pensacola. Agee explained to officers that Sims and his mother work at the same location. He stated that when he arrived at the store, he located her and asked to speak with her, but she said, "Oh, not this again," and turned her back on him. Her coworker allegedly laughed at him, and that's when he drew his weapon and fired multiple rounds, killing Sims and injuring 2 of her coworkers. Agee stated he fled the store, returned to his car, and drove away from the scene. As he was driving, he tossed the firearm out of the car window. The weapon was later recovered by police. Agee said he then drove to a movie theater parking lot and wandered in the woods through a creek before deciding to call 911 to turn himself in. Agee was subsequently booked into the Escambia County Jail on charges of murder in the first degree, domestic violence, and 2 counts of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. He was given no bond pending his first appearance. In typical criminal proceedings, a pretrial detention would signal a pause in the action, as all parties await the trial for justice to unfold. Yet, in this
He
peculiar...
killed now their kid ain't gonna have no dad or no moms, bro. That's fucking insane, bro. You should just stop fucking with her,
and
bro.
twisted story, such detention was not an end, but merely the opening act, setting the stage for a sordid and unexpected turn of events. Following Keith Agee's arrest, authorities confiscated his cell phone. A search warrant was swiftly obtained, paving the way for a forensic examination of the device. The data extracted from Agee's phone, even in its partial form, left the most hardened staff members in a state of disbelief. Recovered text messages exchanged between Keith Agee and his mother, Sheila, began at 10:37 a.m. on the day of the murder until a mere 40 minutes before the shooting at Home Depot. Keith starts the text message thread 2 minutes after learning about the STD test results. He finds out his mother is working with Sims in Pensacola and expects to give her a ride home to Alabama after work to collect their daughter. His initial plan is to confront Sims as soon as they arrive. At 11:09 a.m., Keith texts, "She ain't do nothing but cost me money and give me an I'm getting ready to shoot her. I know, I hate that for my daughter, but like I said, I can't take it no more." Sheila responds 1 minute later, stating, "Okay, I'll call you and tell you, MF, if you want to go to jail. I'll tell you when we get close, but if you don't come kill her, you a..."
Not the mom spicing it.
"Don't call Nanny and tell her. She'll try to talk you out of it." Keith replies, "I ain't even going to tell her why I left. I'm just going to say I got to go to the dentist." To which Sheila replies, "Don't shoot at my MF car. I don't want to die." Keith says, "I'm not." Sheila states, "Wait till I put her out." In discussing his plan to kill
What the fuck? The mom was in on it?
Brooklyn in the Home Depot parking lot,
Put her under
Keith
the
tells
jail
his
too.
mother, "But
For
that's another
conspiracy.
thing. If she don't get out that car, Mama, and I have to drag her out, or can't, I'm going to ask you to step out because I'm going to open the door and just shoot her." "As long as you don't shoot me," replies Sheila. She then adds, "Hell, if you're getting off work now, I'll give you the address here, and you can ride over here and do it, so you don't have to do it in front of your daughter." Keith agrees, responding, "Send it to me."
What the fuck?
Sheila,
bro?
seeming to understand the risky nature of the conversation, texts, Hold up, let me get it. Erase the text because I don't want nobody to know I was texting your stupid ass. Keith states, I already deleted mine. Trust me, I ain't gonna say shit about us even talking today. At 11:32 a.m., Keith confirms to his mother that he is heading.
Dumbasses, they caught y'all on 4K. Like, obviously, we want them to get caught, but it's like, damn, you decide to do this on a whole fucking text thread? Dumbass.
To Pensacola and asks for the address again. Sheila replies, I'm getting it. Give me a minute. I'm on lunch. At 11:43 a.m., Keith asks for the address a third time. And for the first time in the conversation, Sheila responds with some semblance of motherly wisdom while still promising to give him the information he needs to fulfill his morbid plan. Sheila states, You don't give a fuck about that baby. I'll get you the address when I get back. And you ain't showing nobody nothing except you got mental issues. Because you're willing to give up your life and your baby daughter's life and hurt your family over a. But don't worry, I'll make sure she knows Brooklyn gave you something that you had to get a shot for, but that you didn't love her enough to give a fuck about what happened to her. That she wasn't enough for you.
Sure.
Finally,
she
at
tried to talk her out of
11:55
it.
a.m., Sheila sends her son a screenshot of the address for the Home Depot on North Davis Highway in Pensacola. One of Keith's last messages to his mother reads, So that last thought of her, knowing she's and the regret in her face will be enough to satisfy me. I don't give a what she sees when she's dead. The final text in the thread is sent by Sheila at 12:42, stating, Okay then, stop texting me, I'm working. Do whatever. Less than 1 hour later,
Sheila going to jail
Brooklyn
too.
Sims was dead.
That's crazy. Bro, how you a mom and want to tell your son to do that shit, bro? L mom, first of all, can we talk about that for a second? Hold up, y'all. Off my shoes. L fucking mom, bro. You gonna have your son go to jail for the rest of his life. You going to jail too, cause your dumbass was encouraging it. Now, kid ain't gonna have no moms, no dad, and grandmom. Y'all dumb as hell. Hopefully her mom's family take her.
This is one charge of homicide. Would you like to have an attorney to
Dumbass.
help you?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jack Wilkins from Miss Agee, and I'm assisting Mr. Ravi. He's unavailable for today, so I'm covering her first appearance. Presently, Your Honor, I believe she is before the court on a no bond on principle to premeditated first-degree murder.
Yes.
Would ask that bond be addressed, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Myers.
Yes, Your Honor, you've read the report. This was a warrant where the judge issuing the warrant issued a no bond. She's not entitled to a bond. She's from Alabama. This is a capital offense. You have read the report. This is a serious offense with significant evidence. It's a mandatory life sentence if she's convicted. It will obviously be taken before a grand jury. We ask that in the meantime it remains out of no bond.
Mr. Wilkins, anything else on this?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. As far as the evidence is concerned, Mr. Myers is correct. This is a capital offense that was perpetrated, allegedly perpetrated by her son, and she is a principal to the alleged incident.
Hold up, y'all. My cats seem to not understand that their father is recording. Stop it. Where's the other one? Where you at? Stop. Stop it. I gotta tell you one more time, you're gonna be in trouble.
The majority of the evidence that the court has reviewed is text messages that were taken out of context. And Your Honor, to my knowledge, she has little or no prior criminal history that would support such a charge. Notwithstanding the fact that the state is correct that she's not entitled as a matter of right for a bond. However, the first appearance judge can still issue a bond and would be asking for a $250,000 bond, cash or professional, Your Honor, with a monitor should the court require one, notwithstanding the fact that she is in Alabama as her residence, she can be made to find lodging here in this jurisdiction, Your Honor. So again, we would be requesting a $250,000 cash professional bond and with the monitor and pretrial services to monitor her activities while she's in Escambia County.
I think, sir, this time the bond will remain a no bond. You'll be ordered to have no contact with any witnesses in the case. Is it 8 September, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am, your next court date is 8 September, okay?
Damn, look
On
at her.
Monday,
She's
August
sick
14th,
as shit.
3 days after the murder of Brooklyn Sims, the Escambia County Sheriff's Office concluded that Sheila Agee played a major role in the killing of Brooklyn Sims. Sheriff Chip Simmons stated, "The murder itself is unbelievable, but to know the mother knew about it and helped coordinate it is incomprehensible." Consequently, Sheila Agee was arrested in Washington County, Alabama, and
Yeah, her dumb ass deserved it. Like, god damn. Dumb as shit, bro. Look at her. Try look all sad. Fuck out of here.
was extradited to Florida to face charges. She made her initial appearance remotely at the MC Blanchard Courthouse on August 17th, where the judge denied her request for bond. Sheila was charged with principal to first-degree premeditated murder. Under Florida law, a principal is a person who intentionally helps another person commit a crime, also known as an accomplice. As per Florida statute, a person does not have to be at the scene of the crime to be charged and convicted as a principal. Principal theory is a way for the state to hold accomplices criminally responsible for the actions of a partnership or group. Sheila Agee will be tried separately from her son, and her next court date is set for February 28th, 2024.
Oh, so they already got her court date already happened.
The trial of Florida versus Keith Agee commenced on December 19th, 2023. Prosecutors entered the courtroom with confidence, bolstered by what they considered an overwhelming case for conviction. The evidence against Agee was formidable: a confession, clear video evidence, testimonies from multiple eyewitnesses, and damning text messages. Given the strength of this evidence, it seemed the prosecution's presence in the courtroom was essentially a formality.
On August 11,
Caught this nigga in 4K. They didn't even need to be in there.
2023, this defendant, Keith Agee, was on his own mission. And what the evidence will show and the state will prove is that his mission was to find, shoot, and kill Brooklyn Sims.
That's a bitch, bro.
You are going to hear that this defendant left his job in Alabama. He drove 1.5 hours to 2 hours from Alabama to Pensacola to the Home Depot. He parked his car in the parking lot. He walked to the front entrance of the Home Depot, and he literally walked directly to the aisle where Brooklyn Sims was working at that time. He then fired at least 7 shots from a 9mm handgun directly at Brooklyn Sims. At that point, he found her, he shot her, and he killed her. His mission accomplished.
Agee's public defender had the unenviable task of arguing against the compelling evidence.
I want to first thank y'all for bearing with us through the process yesterday. I know it gets repetitive and it took a lot of your time, so we appreciate you for being...
Imagine being a defense attorney and this nigga got you on camera running away, on camera shooting, incriminated text, incriminate accomplice, caught your ass, you're cooked. And this nigga gotta defend you, bro. You making my man's job hard, bro. Look how stressed he look. He got his hands folded. Look. His hands are folded because he's like, fuck. I'm not getting no brag, bro. He not getting no bread. Look at
here today. I know, like the judge said yesterday, a jury summons isn't an invitation, but we appreciate your service, and we're asking you to pay attention today and render a fair and impartial verdict at the end of this trial. Now, this is going to be a bit different type of case than is normally tried in criminal court. And as far as that, I don't expect to contest a lot of the facts and the evidence that the state puts on. You heard the government's attorney tell you everything they anticipate showing to you. There's going to be high-resolution surveillance video from the Home Depot, scores of witnesses that are unbiased and impartial, cell phone tracking data. A lot of this stuff is not going to be in dispute. But at the end of this trial, I'm going to ask you to as being fair and impartial jurors selected to hear the facts of this case and ultimately reach a decision. I'm going to ask
he's
you to
cooked.
determine whether this was
They're throwing him under the jail.
calculated, premeditated, first-degree murder, as the state's charged it, or was it something else?
Was it something else? You just witnessed Agee's defense attorney state the question is not whether Keith Agee killed Brooklyn Sims, but whether Agee was in his proper state of mind. For example, was he so enraged that he was not in control of his mental capacity? A conviction on a reduced charge of second-degree murder would mean that the 20-year-old Agee could still have some semblance of a life when his prison term is done. In the state of Florida, a conviction of first-degree murder is punishable by a sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole and, in certain circumstances, the death penalty. In most murder trials, it is generally considered not a good idea for the accused to take the stand. But in this case, the decision was made that Agee would testify in court in the hopes of persuading jury members to his diminished responsibility claim.
Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Let's have a seat.
All right, let me point it out several times today, but I want you to state your full name for the jury and spell your last name for the record.
Keith Eric Agee, A-G-E-E.
How did the day begin?
It started off as any other average morning. I got up for work early, got dressed, and started my day and proceeded to work.
Did you have to work that day?
Yes, sir.
Well, the state's introduced text messages between you and your mother. Is that correct? That was between you and your mother?
Yes, sir.
Did at some point that day you discover you had been diagnosed with gonorrhea?
Yes, sir.
Damn.
How did you find that out?
I received a call from Greater Mobile Urgent Care.
When had you taken an STD test?
Before Tuesday, to that date.
Tuesday prior to the shooting?
Yes, sir.
Why did you have that test done?
I started experiencing abnormalities that I've never had while peeing and resting and sitting down.
Had you ever had a sexually transmitted disease before?
Never in my life.
Other than the weekend, was that immediately after the weekend you had spent with Brooklyn?
Yes, sir. The following Tuesday, I got a test.
Had you been sexually active with anyone else?
Not for almost 2 months with anybody else.
Now that I just realized, this nigga was 18 when she had the baby. So she was 16, he was 18. I'm just saying.
After you were informed you had an STD, how did you feel?
Enraged, betrayed, hurt.
Through this testimony, the defense aimed to achieve several objectives: to present Agee as a relatable individual, delve into and clarify his mental state at the time of the offense, and sway the jury by showing Agee's sense of remorse and acceptance of responsibility. Yet, it was crucial that Agee's demeanor, the consistency of his narrative, and his overall credibility hold up under the rigorous cross-examination by the prosecution, where every detail of his testimony would be meticulously scrutinized.
heard testimony earlier today that Calvert is 2 hours away, is that right?
For the average trip, it didn't take me 2 hours.
How long did it take you?
Anywhere close to around 1 hour and 30.
So 1 hour and a half it took you?
Yes, sir.
Did you stop anywhere along the way?
I think I stopped to get gas along the way.
Did you not stop in Loxley?
I think that's one of the stores I stopped, but I can't recall.
How many stops did you make?
Only one.
So why do you say one of the stores you stopped at?
Cause I can't approximately remember what store I stopped at along any of the exits. I'm not too familiar with any of the area going further around Loxley. Anywhere past Mobile Bridge.
Any idea how many exits are between Calvert and Home Depot?
I'd say about 20 maybe.
About 20 exits. Now you got the phone call that morning from your doctor.
I'm just trying to figure out what does the exit question has to do with it. Maybe it's like, oh, he could have went back, but like,
Right?
Yes, sir.
And you said you were at work when that happened and you went straight home and that you heard that was your grandmother's house, right?
Yes, sir.
How far was that from your work?
It doesn't take me 2.5 minutes to leave my job and get to my house.
You said you weren't in the house, but a minute and a half, you said?
Yes, a minute and a half, yes, sir.
How do you know it was a minute and a half?
I remember leaving my car running, and from a park close to the house, and it's not 15 feet from the front porch to my room and back, and I jogged in, jogged out.
All right, you went straight to your room, you got your pistol.
Yes, sir.
That's the same pistol we saw earlier today.
Yes, sir.
Was your grandmother home?
Yes, sir.
Did you talk to her?
No, sir.
damn, and poor Nana gotta see this, bro. That's what I'm putting Nana in an early grave, bro. Like when people do dumb shit like this, not only does it hurt the victim, it hurts your family, bro. Like why would you do this dumb shit?
And you knew Brooklyn would be with your mother, but you didn't know where they'd be working, right?
Yes, sir.
And you got the address from your mother.
Yes, sir.
So when you got the phone call from your doctor, you automatically assumed Brooklyn gave it to you, right?
Yes, sir.
So you
Listen, this is why. Listen, I'm gonna. Let me go big for y'all real quick, cause we gotta have a conversation. Hold on, let me turn this off. Let me turn this off. We gotta have a conversation. This is why you really gotta like. You really have to think about who you have children with, who you get into a relationship with, who you decide to give your body to, on both sides. Cause people are crazy, bro. People are crazy. So this is a PSA to everyone out there. Really think about who you give yourself to. And that doesn't just mean physically, it means mentally and emotionally as well. Please, please pay attention to that. Because there are signs. And sometimes you ignore the signs because you love that person, but pay attention to those signs. I'm telling you. Cause, bro, she did not deserve to die over this, bro. Should have just said he literally could have just like left it alone. Not like left it alone, but he could have just, you know what I'm saying, like did, bro. Just take that L to the chest. Like
Your testimony is
gotta take that
that
L,
you
bro.
drove an hour and a half after getting your pistol. You got the address from your mother. You went straight to the Home Depot, right?
Yes, sir.
Didn't stop anywhere in Pensacola.
No, sir. I didn't stop in Pensacola. No, sir.
So you went straight to the Home Depot. You parked your car actually next to your mother's car, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You left your car And you went up to approach Home Depot. You saw the video earlier, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you had your phone out?
Yes, sir.
What were you looking at?
Nothing. My phone was just in my hand from being in the car. I had GPS on because I didn't know my way through Pensacola or how to get to Home Depot.
When you were in the parking lot and in that store, did you not look down at your phone?
I can't recall.
Was your mother telling you where she was?
No, sir, not in the store. No.
She dropped a point to you?
She told me on the way to Home Depot that they would be in Home Depot.
Did she tell you what aisle?
No, sir.
Did she drop a point to you?
No, sir.
You entered the Home Depot in the main entrance and you walked directly to aisle 52, right?
No, sir. I walked along the aisles looking. I didn't know which aisle exactly that she would be located on.
You didn't stop and talk to anybody?
No, sir.
You went straight to her?
Yes, sir.
You walked down, once you saw her, you walked down the aisle and you said, you gave me something.
Yes, sir.
She says, in your words, not this again, and turned away from you.
Yes, sir.
You said on the ride over here, this hour and a half, you were enraged, betrayed, felt hurt, right?
Yes, sir.
And you said you saw Brooklyn and it all melted away.
Yes, for that brief moment, yes, sir.
How long was this brief moment?
Until she turned away from me and said, not again.
And then you said again, you felt hurt, enraged, betrayed. The same thing you just said.
Yes, sir.
So he had a moment of like, you know what, I ain't gonna do this. But then she said, boy.
She turned away from you.
Yes, sir.
And you were gonna teach her something.
She basically said, boy, bye. That's what she said. And that shit pissed him off.
Yes, sir.
In her closing arguments, prosecutor Bridget Jensen asked the jury to weigh the evidence and recognize the gravity of the crime committed.
Mr. Wise said the only question for you is, was this a cold, calculated, or premeditated murder? And you heard the evidence, and that's exactly what it is. He said, was this something hot and fiery? Ladies and gentlemen, the only thing hot and fiery in this case was this defendant's premeditation as he fired those hot and fiery bullets into her body.
Damn. Graphic much.
Mr. Wise was talking about the small nick in the back of Miss Thomas's back. Well, thank goodness that's the only injury she had. Because you heard the testimony, you've seen the evidence. Bullets are flying, fragments are flying, people are flying to get away from there. She told you she felt something and she went down. She was on that aisle. She was right there, dodging a bullet and only getting a graze. Thank goodness. You heard testimony from Dr. Oleski. She looked at the pictures. That injury is consistent with shrapnel. Let's get something real clear. This defendant had an STD. And this defendant assumed that he got it from Brooklyn Sims. But ladies and gentlemen, this is not about an STD. Does that make it okay? Absolutely not. This is not about an STD. This is about his pride.
Yup. And ego.
The STD is curable. Brooklyn Sims' murder is not.
She's spitting. Hold on. Let's get some snaps for her. She's spitting.
29 holes he riddled into her body.
Oh my God.
Didn't cure his STD, but it cured his pride. The mom's involvement. Mr. Wise said she stoked this defendant's flames. And let me tell you something, those text messages are nothing less than despicable. You have them in evidence. They're despicable between both of them. But Sheila Agee is not on trial today. Keith Agee is.
In the Circuit Court for Escambia County, Florida, State of Florida plaintiff versus Keith Eric Agee defendant. Clerk number 1723CF003379A, Division A. Verdict. We, the jury, find as follows as to the counts charged in the indictment. Count 1, guilty of first-degree murder as charged. Count 2, not guilty. So say we all this 20th day of December 2023.
Upon his conviction, the Honorable Judge Coleman Lee Robinson immediately sentenced Keith Agee to life in prison without the possibility of parole. During the sentencing, Attorney Jensen wanted to clarify one final matter for the record.
Judge, and one last thing, I really didn't want to put this into evidence. Judge, this is an extraction report from Sheila Agee's cell phone number, and there are just some text messages between her and Brooklyn. And the court would look on page 4. Brooklyn sent a picture of the doctor's appointment she had on August 5th. And if you look at the very last page, it just shows that Brooklyn actually did not have gonorrhea.
Oh, shit.
And I know in the grand scheme of things it doesn't matter, but we just wanted to give Ms. Sims a little bit of dignity.
Oh, rest in peace. Damn, bro. That shit is so fucked up, bro. Like, it just don't make sense. Why would you just commit such a fucking crime like that, bro? Like, that nigga was never in love. If you could do something to the person you claim you love, bro, you was never in love in the first place. But I hope you guys enjoyed this murder mystery. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the post notifications, and we're gonna bring more to you. I love you, boys and girls, because I'm in fact not sexist. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.